Hi, welcome to the Affaircare podcast. My name is Cindy Taylor. I'm the co-founder here at Affaircare, along with my dear hubby, who is the one who does all the graphics and the little video things. I'm the front of the camera person, and he's behind the camera. This week, our topic is going to be how to talk to your kids about the affair. Here at Affaircare, we do believe that you should talk to your children when your spouse is having an affair. They are going to notice that something is wrong, and their world is about to be turned upside down just like yours was. So they do need a parent to tell them what happened and why. Lots of people do advise hiding it from the children or lying to them about the situation by saying some cliche like, "Oh, we've grown apart and decided we can't live together anymore." We don't believe that that's appropriate, nor does it honor God. Nor does it respect your children, nor does it teach them to be honest. It sends children a confusing message. If their parents get to grow apart and then not live together, but they're told that they have to just get along with the kids in their class that are bullying them or teasing them. So if parents can just run away, why can't they? Right? So what we want to do is we would recommend speaking to the children and telling them the truth about the affair. No doubt the disloyal spouse will be against this because they don't want their adultery brought to the light of day. And clearly, telling children every little detail of the affair is going to be way beyond what they are able to cope with and deal with. So we're not suggesting that you share with them adult discussions, but rather we do recommend keeping it simple but honest. Stick to the truth and keep the focus on what you believe and feel and think. Here, if you do a talk, you don't want to badmouth the disloyal because this is their parent. Even if it is really true that some of the things that they are doing are just horrific, because this puts the focus on the disloyal and you are talking for them. You'd say, well, he did this or that, or she thinks we should, blah, 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 and you're speaking for them. You can't speak for them. Speak for yourself. Also, the disloyal is your child's parent and part of them. So if you're bad-mouthing them, your kids will hear the message that's part of them is bad. We don't want to go there. The disloyal parent will always be in their life, even if they're not in your life anymore. So let the disloyal parent speak for themselves, but let the child speak to the child honestly and tell them what you believe and what you think and feel. You can tell them how the unfaithful behavior differs from what you believe. So, that being said, I'm going to actually give you some examples of how you might speak to your child at some different ages. I'm going to assume that a child that is 18, and or graduated from high school, that person is an adult now. So you don't need to speak to them like a child. So we're going to be focusing on if your child is less than elementary school age, if they're very little like that. We're going to speak to another example, elementary school age children, what would be appropriate. I'll do another example for middle school age children, and then the final example would be high school age children. If your children are less than elementary school age, developmentally, they do not understand anything about relationships or marriage. They pretty much only understand that mommy and daddy are their family and that they need both mommy and daddy. So they have very basic understanding of right and wrong along the lines of that's a no, right? They won't understand that. And at this age, they tend to see their parents as gods because the parents pretty much provide everything for them. So at this point, what you want to do with your elementary child, less than elementary child, is be very simple. Also, by the way, on the examples, I'm going to go back and forth between the example of the female person cheating and the male person cheating just to keep it equal because both genders do that equally. So you're going to keep it very simple and you're going to say something like, I believe mommies and daddies make a promise to only love each other and have no boyfriend or girlfriend. Mommy has a boyfriend and I believe that is a no-no. I feel very sad about that. That's pretty much, they won't understand much more than that. Okay, for elementary school age children, developmentally, they do not understand the entire dynamic of relationships or marriage, but they have some idea from observing their own parents and from seeing their friends, and they have some vocabulary to express themselves a little better than the, pre-elementary school children. They are old enough to have a grasp of right and wrong, like lying is naughty, a little bit of Sunday school, so they have some basics on morals and values. So they will tend to view their parents as authorities, that is to say, somebody they should listen to and obey, and they will probably think their parents are splitting because they were bad or because they weren't good enough for the mommy or daddy to love them. So when you're speaking to elementary school children, like first grade to maybe fifth or sixth grade, you want to keep it simple. Again, don't disrespect your disloyal spouse, just tell them the truth and the facts. Here's an example. You know how we've gone to Sunday school and talked about things that are right and wrong, like lying and stealing are right and are wrong? Well, I believe when mommies and daddies marry, they make a promise to only love each other. And that would mean having no boyfriends or girlfriends, right? Daddy has a girlfriend, and I believe that is wrong. So as long as he has his girlfriend, he will be moving out. We will be staying right here. You will have your same room and your same school and your same friends, and I will be here if you have any questions or want to talk, okay? This opens up the opportunity for your kids to talk, but they may not have great vocabulary for it, so you may want to, if you notice them acting out, then say something to them. Okay, middle school age children. To my mind, this is usually somebody that's 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, maybe 9th graders. Mentally, they do not understand the entire dynamic of relationships and marriages, but they probably have had their first crush on somebody. They may have begun to notice the opposite sex. They certainly know about dating. They can't avoid that in today's society. Plus, they have even more ability to vocalize their thoughts and their feelings. They are old enough now to know right and wrong and have their morals and values are kind of being formed and finalized. So, just envision, this is the age where maybe a child will go for confirmation or bar bat mitzvah, where they begin the transition into adulthood. They will tend to think that their parents are weird, dorky, embarrassing, irritating, and they may try some things that are 100% different than their parents' beliefs just to shock them, and then also to see if they truly believe it too. Consequently, their reaction to fighting in a divorce, an affair, could possibly be different in an attempt to be shocking. That's the way they are. When you speak to a middle school child, it might be similar to the elementary school talk, but a bit more advanced. You still want to stick with not disrespecting the disloyal, and you still want to stick to the truth and the facts, but you might say something like this. I'm sure that you can tell something is wrong between your mom and I. She is going to be moving out, and I wanted you to know why. You know how we've always taught you about right and wrong? Well, I believe when people marry, they take a vow to only love each other, and that would mean having no boyfriends and girlfriends, right? Well, your mom has a boyfriend, and I believe that's wrong. I've asked her to give up her boyfriend and return to the family, but she has chosen not to. So, as long as she has her boyfriend and won't give him up, she'll be moving out. I suspect you feel pretty hurt and upset, and I'm here if you need to talk, okay? And then our final example is going to be the high school age child. Again, I'm thinking of somebody, maybe 9th grade, but like 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, where developmentally they think they understand the dynamic of relationships and marriage. And no doubt they've had their first boyfriend or girlfriend, but of course they don't know the entirety of it. They are fully capable of expressing themselves verbally, but with the onset of puberty, the world sort of is this like huge drama. And they may prefer to talk to their friends or write in a journal rather than talking to their parents about it. They should already have a very firm grasp on right and wrong and have a nearly adult understanding of morals and values. So this is an age where they're going to be testing their young adulthood, putting their foot in the pool, so to speak. And this is the age when they are separating from their parents. So they will tend to see their parents' weaknesses, feet of clay, and they'll likely value their friends. So this talk is going to be a little bit more advanced even than the middle school talk. Again, still no disrespecting the disloyal, just stick to the truth and the facts. But you might say something like this. I'm sure you can tell something is wrong between your father and I. He's going to be moving out, and I wanted you to know why. You're mature enough now to know right from wrong. I believe when people marry, they take a vow before God to forsake all others and only love each other so the family's stable and strong. Well, I found out that your dad has a girlfriend, and I believe that's wrong. I've asked him to give up his girlfriend and return to the family, but he chooses not to. So, as long as he has his girlfriend and won't give her up, he will be moving out. I suspect you feel really hurt and upset right now, but I'm here if you want to talk. At that point, you may also want to suggest other people they would want to talk to, such as if they have a pastor or a youth group leader, maybe somebody along that line that they really trust and can talk to, they look up to. Maybe a grandparent, because sometimes between a teenager and a parent, it can be hard, but for some reason, teenagers get along with their grandparents usually pretty well. Or likewise, if there is somebody that's a counselor type of person, you could also maybe let your child know about that person so that they have some resources to deal with it. Okay, we could go on and on into everything that your kids may or may not ask, but if we did that, this video would be hours long. So this is just an honest way to get the conversation started, so they know that there is at least one parent who will be honest with them and tell them the real truth. We do encourage you to talk to your children, and hopefully these few examples will give you like a stepping stone to how you will choose to speak to your child and let them know what's going on and why their world is about to be rocked. Thank you so much for tuning into the Affaircare podcast. We look forward to seeing you every week, and we will see you hopefully next week, Friday. All right, thanks so much again, and God bless. Bye-bye.